Patris et Filii Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Introibo ad altare Dei. Puer natus est nobis. Dominus vobiscum, sequentia Sancti Evangelii secundum Lucam.
Gloria tibi, Domine.
Nilo tempore postquam consumatis sunt dies octo ut circuncideretur puer vocatum est nomen eius Iesus, quod vocatum est ab ancelo priusquam in utero conciperetur.
Laudes tibi, Christe.
Begin with God and end with God, and yours will be the happiest life. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. This is an old proverb, Christian proverb, very fitting for today, which we begin not only a new day, and this is what we have to do always, every day, to begin with God, but also we begin a new year in our life. And this is the main reason why this day is a day of obligation. Not much because of the importance, the rank of the feast of the circumcision that we celebrate, but because it is New Year's Day. And the church, just like Jesus, started his life obeying the laws, going to the temple for this ritual, the circumcision. Also Catholics are reminded and commanded that every year, every day, we should start with God. And that's why we are commanded to come to church, because God is the most important thing in our life. Begin with God and end with God, and yours will be the happiest life. Each year comes to an end, but those who see the beginning of the year not always live to witness the close. Eternity is drawing near to us, everyone, and the remembrance of this fact today should help us to detach ourselves from this life, to detach our affections we all have for this world, and make us regarded as a fleeting shadow, as a flight of the bird in the air. In fact, what is a lifetime in comparison with eternity? I will never forget one day I was giving the sacraments to an old man in the hospital and preparing him to die. And he asked me, he wanted to tell me something like a sort of secret. He said, Father, life is very short. I said, believe me, it's very short. Sure. And we all believe somehow. But we realize it as we get older. If we get older. And sometimes it's necessary to really repeat these things that they may enter more and more in our conscience, in our daily life. How short is this life? And therefore, how short is the time given to us to prepare eternity? And how often we waste it. Life is very short, believe me. Years pass and men are continually being overwhelmed by sorrows and miseries. One thing alone does not pass: God. He remains always the same, unchanged from all eternity to all eternity. He is God, always the same, always bestowing His favors upon us and giving us the chance to prepare us for eternity. So today we are in between 2 years, one that is just finished, passed away, the other that is starting this today. We are going to have some consideration, brief considerations for the year who just passed away, for the one that has just started. 3 considerations for the year which is passed yesterday. The first thing is that that year already belongs to the past. It's gone. Its joys and delights, its entertainment no longer existed. Have we done any good to our own souls or to those of others? St. Paul reminds us to do so while we still have time to do good. Last year's trial and sufferings are over. Have we avoided sin? Death has claimed its victims and daily is drawing near to us. No one shall escape. Second thing to consider about the past year is God's gift. He has prolonged our life that we might use it as to do good, to be good Christians, to prepare our death, to prepare our eternity. That's why He gives that a new year. He gives us natural gifts to promote our welfare in this world, and He bestows upon us supernatural gift, divine grace, the sacraments, prayers, and the merits that derived from good works. What use have we made of all these benefits we have received from God this past year? Third thing to consider is our failures. As we advance in life, are we thinking of heaven, of eternity? In omnibus respice finem. In all your things, says the sacred scriptures, look at the end. Put a big sign in your bedroom, maybe heaven. That's the end. That's the purpose of existence, of our creation. In all things, look at the end. Think of the good that you might have done and have neglected. of the evil things that you have done. If God had called you away last year, perhaps you would have had to appear before Him with empty hands. And this is the lot of many. They are unprepared, they are empty, they passed away to an eternity of suffering. The year is gone, but opera illorum secundum illos, we read in the book of the Apocalypse. Their deeds will follow them. Now, what should we consider about the new year, which is just started today? The first thing is that it has been refused to others, but God has given it to us. In the case of many, it will be the last year. Let us be careful to use it well, wisely, to sanctify ourselves as much as we can. The lost, those who are damned forever, would gladly have it, but they cannot. Let us avoid sin. Let us look up to heaven, and let us do good works as we still have time. Secondly, let us make a good resolution to overcome our faults or to acquire any particular virtue that we need the most in order to sanctify ourselves. The book of the Imitation of Jesus Christ says, if we correct one vice a year, we shall soon be perfect. And unfortunately, very often, as we grow older, our defects also grow with us, and it becomes more and more difficult to overcome them. It becomes our own nature. If we correct one vice a year, we shall soon be perfect. Thirdly, the good wishes of the new year. When our blessed Lord was risen, He first appeared to his apostles in the synagogue, and the first thing He said to them is Pax Vobis. Peace be with you. And so I wish you today the peace of the Lord, the peace of our blessed Lord, as He wished to His apostles. He actually gave it to them. Not the peace of this world, not prosperity, health, or all these wishes, New Year's wishes that we hear around. The peace of God, the peace of the Lord consisted being in peace with God, being in peace with your neighbor, being in peace with your own conscience, with yourself. And you will be in peace with God if you keep your religious duties every day. Mass, if you can, receiving the sacraments, prayers, daily devotions, daily prayers. Be a good Christian this year. You will live in peace with God. You will be in peace with your neighbors if you keep your duties towards them. At home, for example, at work, in your neighborhood, with your friends and relatives. Peace means, says St. Augustine, tranquility of the order. It presupposes order. Take, for example, a family in which every member takes his place. We have different members of the family, different roles, a hierarchy, daily church, duties. When everybody takes his place, it reigns peace, which is true love and respect. It means obedience, it means sacrifice, humility. On the other side, when you see in a family that everybody does what they want, and these virtues are not present, it is impossible to live in peace. There is pride, disobedience, selfishness, and all this generates only quarrels and discord. And therefore, there is a complete disorder, there is no peace. You will be finally in peace with yourself if you try to please God in everything you do. This should be the first and the most important motive of everything you do, to please God. Is God going to be pleased if I am doing this? Because after all, this is what really matters in your life. If you please or you displease God, all the rest is secondary. And therefore, if you do that, as much as you can, of course, with your defects, with your failures, raising and moving on in your daily faults, you will please God, you will sleep well in peace with your conscience. So, this is the new resolution that I wish for you as we started today, a new year. Maybe we have many years, and I wish you a long life. Maybe not. But the most important is to begin with God and to end with God. Yours will be the happy life. God bless you. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Credo in un Deum Patrem omnipotentem, Dominus vobiscum, et spiritu. Oremus.
Per omnia saecula saeculorum.
Amen.
Dominus obiscum
Et cum spiritus
sursum corda. Gratias agamus Domino Deo nostro. Benedictum justum est cum et salutare. Nos divis semper tu dico gratias Agere. Domine Sancte Pater Omnipotens et Deus, quia per incarnati per mysterium novamentis nostre oculis lux tue caritatis impulsit, ut invisibiliter Deum cognoscimus per unc in invisibilium amorem gratiamus. Et ideo cum angelis et archangelis, cum tronis et dominationibus, cum qui omni militia celestis exercitus, hymnum gloriae tue canimus, sine fidelicentes.
Per omnia saecula saeculorum.
Amen.
Oremus preceptis salutarius moniti. E divina instituzione formatio demus dicere, Pater noster, qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua sicut in cielo et in terra, panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, dimitti nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimittimus debitoribus nostris, et nos inducas in tentationem,
Sed libera nos a malo.
Per omnia saecula saeculorum.
Amen.
Pax Domini sit semper vobiscum.
Et cum spiritu tuo.
Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata mundi, miserere nobis. Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata mundi, miserere nobis. Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata mundi, dona nobis pacem.
Virgine, viator Michelina Arcangelo, viator Leonora Christe, Salus Pastus Petro, Salus Santos et Filii Pater, Tui Heavenly Creditazione me poco, me maxo poco, in Deo Greco, viator meum Sancta Virgine, viator Michelina Arcangelo, viator Leonora Christe, Sanctus Pastus Petro, Omnes Sanctos et Dei Pater, ora pro me et in hora nostra.
Misereatur vestri omnipotens Deus, et dimissis peccatis vestris perducat vos ad vitam aeternam. Indulgentiam absolutionem et remissionem peccatorum vestrorum, tribuat vobis omnipotens et misericors Dominus. Ecce agnus Dei, ecce qui tollit peccata mundi, Domini non subimus interest tectum meum, se tantum dic verbo et sanabitur anima mea. Domine non subimus interest tectum meum, se tantum dic verbo et sanabitur anima mea. Domine non subimus interest tectum meum, se tantum dic verbo et sanabitur anima mea. Viderunt omnes fines terrae salutare Dei nostri. Dominus vobiscum. Oremus ec nos communio Domine purgita crimine, intercedente Beata Virgine Dei Centrice Maria, celestis renedi faciat esse consortes, speriam Domine nostri Iesu Christum Filium Tuum, qui tecum vivit et regnat in unitate Spiritus Sancti Deus, omnia saecula saeculorum.
Amen.
Dominus vobiscum,
Et cum spiritus
ite missa est.
Deo gratias.
Benedicat vos omnipotens Deus, Pater et Filius et Spiritus Sanctus. Dominus vobiscum, initius Sancti Evangelii secundo Ioannem.
Gloria Dei.
In principio erat verbum et verbum erat ab Deum et Deus erat verbum, hoc erat in principio ab Deum. Omnia per ipsum factus est, et sine ipso factum est nihil quod factum est. In ipso vita erat et vita lux hominum, et lux in terris luce et tenebre ea non comprehenderunt. Fui Dominus ad Deo, nomina Ioannes, hic verum testimonium per liber de lumine, ut omnes credere per illum. Non erat ilus testimonium per liber de lumine, et lux spera qui illuminat hominem venientem in mundum. In mundo erat mundus spiritum factus est, in mysterium non cognovit, in propria veritas non receperunt. Quod autem receperunt Deo dedites potestate in Filius Dei, Isu creunt in nomine eius, cunere sanguinibus, neque electate carnis, neque electate vinis des Deo natis sunt, et verbum caro factum est, et habitare in nobis, et vivus sole Deus, sole quas in Trinite Patere, verbum gratiae et veritatis.
Deo gratias.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee, blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee, blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee, blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death.
Hail, Holy Queen,
Mother of mercy, our life, our sweetness, and our hope. To thee we cry, who are banished children of Eve. To thee we send up our sighs, mourning and weeping in thy valley of tears. To heaven, the most gracious advocate, and has mercy towards us. And after this our exile, show unto us the blessed fruit of thy womb, Jesus. O clement, O loving, O sweet Virgin Mary,
pray for us, O Holy Mother of God.
that we may believe the promise of our
Let us pray, O God, O refuge and our strength, look down with favor upon thy people who cry to thee. And through the intercession of the glorious Immaculate Virgin Mary, Mother of God, her spouse, Blessed Joseph, thy holy apostles Peter and Paul, and the saints, mercifully and graciously hear the prayers which put forth to thee, for the conversion of sinners and for the liberty and exaltation of Holy Mother the Church, through the same Christ our Lord. Amen. Saint Michael the Archangel,
defend us now. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And thou, Prince of the Holy Ghost, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all his spirits, who brought about the world seeking the ruin of souls.
Most Sacred Heart of Jesus, most Sacred Heart of Jesus, most Sacred Heart of Jesus. Angels, we come sweetly singing for the plains, and mountains every high, echo their joyous saints. Lord,
excelsis Deo, shepherds ride his jubilee, while your joyous strains along. Say what may the tidings be, which inspire your heavenly song. In excelsis Deo.